Good night, everyone. Welcome in. Hi, Sharon. I hope everyone is well. Tonight, I will not keep you very long. Let me know where you're watching me from. As I said, I won't have you very long tonight. We are just going to talk a bit about templates. If you could hear me, give me a thumbs up. I'm sure you weren't hearing me. Were you hearing me? I was saying hello to everyone. Let me know if you're hearing me. Hi, Lakita. Are you hearing me clearly? Hi, Blue Emerald. Hi, Viola Floyd. Happy New Year to you, Viola. Okay, good. Thank you for coming. I was saying earlier, I'm not sure if you were hearing me, that I'm not going to keep you very long. We're just going to do a template tonight for beginners, for those who are interested in learning how to make their own template. So I'm just gonna show you how to do a very simple one tonight. Hi, Sharon. Okay, good. Thank you, Viola. All right, so I'm gonna give you a minute just to get your computers. If you have Silhouette Studios Business Edition. Hi, Linda. I'm gonna allow you to get your computers ready if you want to follow along with me. Or if you don't have the Silhouette Studios Business Edition, you could grab a notebook and a pen and take some notes. So I'm going to give you 1 minute or 1.5 to start your computers if you want to follow along with me to make this template. I will not be blinging tonight, but tonight is just talking about templates and how you could achieve your own. Hi, D-Mac. Good night, good night. I'm trying to get my hair to cooperate, but it's not cooperating. Oh, whatever. Okay. All right, let me know if you're going to follow along with me to do this template. And let me know when you're ready for me to start. All right, so what is the weather like where you're at? In New York, it was snowing today. I think this is the first snow of the year, but it wasn't sticking. It's not sticking. Okay, taking notes. Good. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to, okay, good, Sandra. I'm going to share my screen and then we're going to get started. Okay. My mouse is acting up this evening. I'm going to share a window. Okay, let me know if you're seeing my screen. Hi, Letitia. Okay. All right, so as I said earlier, I'm going to show you how you could create a template, just a simple template for beginners, those who are just learning how to bling. Hi, Sandra. So, so I'm just going to type a word. So well, let's see. All right, so you could follow along with me with your computers, or you could just take notes. So I'm gonna go over here where I see this A. So the first thing you want to do is to determine what you want to your shirt to say, or whatever you want your design to say. Okay. So when you decide on what you want your design to say, what you're going to do, there are some features here that's gonna help you, right? I'm not gonna go through all these features, but if you are doing a word-based design where you just want your design to say a word, or you'll have to start with this A. So on your left, you're gonna see a lot of icons right here, a lot of shapes. You're gonna scroll all the way down to this A, because this A is your text. That is what you use to write. So I'm gonna click on that A, and I'm gonna go over here to my canvas, to this space, and I'm gonna click anywhere. So when you do that, you're gonna see a blue line that comes up. So I'm gonna click on the A, I'm gonna go over to my canvas, and I'm gonna click on it. Now you're gonna see this blue stroke that comes up. Now it's telling you it's now the time for you to write your text. So I'm gonna write the word blessed, or let me do something that has a small amount of letters. Give me a word with small amount of letters, because I want to show you how to move your stones around. Let's do, um, I don't want to do love again. All right, let's go with blessed. So you could determine, okay, love, Miss Karen, love. So we all need that, right? All right, so I type my word love. When I type my word love, what you're gonna do, let me zoom up. It's gonna default to the Arial font. Now, if you go up here, I'm not gonna use this mouse. If you go up here, you're going to see that the font that you're using, it tells you the font that you're using. It tells me that I'm using the Arial font, okay? But if you want to change that font, what you're going to do is highlight the word, okay? So you're just gonna click over it, and when you click over it, you're gonna see these dash lines that come up. The dash lines tell you how much of the word is highlighted, okay? So it's telling me that all my word is highlighted, which is what I want. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go over to my right, okay? And you're gonna go over to this icon, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 icon, which is your textile panel, okay? And you're gonna click on it, and this icon gives you options to change fonts, okay? So you could change your font to anything you want based on what you have on your computer. I'm gonna change mine to Faber. So when I click on Faber, you're gonna see that the font has been changed. So I'm gonna make my text a little bit bigger. So now is the time when you want to determine what size you need. Okay. So it depends on the size t-shirt that you wear. Well, I'm a large, so I usually just go for like 11 inch or 11.1 inch. I always do my shirts like that. So I'm going to bring mine to about 11 or so. But what I need you to understand that whenever you type a word, if you look at this word, you'll see that there's a lot of space between the letters at the top and at the bottom, right here. What you need to do is you need to have an accurate size of what the text is. So what I want you to do, you could do two things. You could right click, and when you right click, hi Karen, when you right click, you're going to go all the way down to the text that says convert to path. So when you convert to path, what that does is that it brings the text closer, so you have a true knowledge of how big the text is. So you're going to click on convert to path. So you notice that the space is gone after you click convert to path. Okay. No, I hope you're following so far. So now what you could do, this is telling me that the size of this word is 8.038 inches wide and 2.450 inches high. Okay? So what you could do, you could drag this little box. So you're going to see around the text some boxes, right? If you use the boxes that are at the corner, what that does is that it makes the word proportional, okay? Meaning it's gonna be the same for the height and the same for the width, okay? But if I use the ones in the middle, it's just going to change the height or it's just gonna change the width, okay? So if you use this one, for instance, my mouse is giving me trouble. If you use this one, you could pull it up and it will change only the height, okay? If you use this one, it's just gonna change the width. But if you use the one in the corner, it's gonna change both the height and the width at the same time. And that is what it means when when we say that something is proportional. As you change the height, you change the width also. So that is what this corner one does. So if you are designing and you are okay with the width, but you want to change the height, you will not use the ones at the corner, the little boxes at the corner, because the boxes at the corner changes the width and the height at the same time. Okay, so I hope you're following so far. Give me a thumbs up if you're understanding what I'm saying so far. If I haven't lost yours yet, give me a thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying so far. Okay? So if you want to change the height alone, you use the boxes in the middle, the one at the top, the one at the bottom. If you want to change the width alone, use the one that is on the two sides, east and west. But if you want to change the height and the width at the same time, then you use the box that is in the corner. All right? Okay. So when you determine your size, which I'm just going to leave it at about 10 inches. And this will fit like a medium shirt or so. Okay. So I'm gonna take it up a little bit. Okay, good. All right. Now that you determine your size, now you're gonna ask yourself, do I want just one color design, or do I want multicolor design, or do I want a layered design? Okay. So this basically is ready to be turned into a rhinestone template, you know. All we have to do, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the color so that you could see it a little bit better. So I'm gonna go up here. So to change the color, you go up here where you see this little grid, okay? That doesn't have a color. You're going to click on that drop down and it shows you the different colors. And you're gonna click on which one you want. So I'm gonna click on something that you're gonna be able to see. My mouse is acting up. So let me use the gold. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom up, and I hope you're able to see what I'm showing you. So I'm just gonna use this one. If you look here around the O, you're gonna see two colors. You're going to see the gold solid in the middle, but around the letter, you're gonna see a red line. Sometimes, depending on what color you're working with, you will not see the line. But here I can see it. Let me see if I could zoom up a little bit more. So if you look here, you see a red line around the text. What I usually do, I usually take that line off. So I'm gonna zoom down. I'm gonna take the line off. To take the line off, what you're gonna do, go over to where you went to change your color, right? And you are going to go to this red box. You're gonna see a red box right here, right where I'm hovering. You're going to click on the drop down and you're going to select the option that has no color. It's like this little diamond looking thing that doesn't have a color. So that's the one you're gonna click on. When you click on it, you see that it is that red line is off. Okay. Now you could do two things. You could just go ahead and make this into a rhinestone template. So you go up here where you see panels and you're going to scroll all the way down and you're going to open your rhinestone panel. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate this word love. To duplicate it, you're just going to click on the word and you're going to press Control D and it will duplicate. Okay, so I'm going to put this at the side and we're going to work on this one. Do you have any questions before I move on to the next step? Any questions? I don't want to feel like I'm lecturing you. Hi, Valerie. No questions. Okay. All right. So we're good so far. All right. So if you just want just a design, what you could do in this case, I could just ungroup my word and I could add my rhinestone designs to each of the letters first, and then I go ahead and group it back. So for instance, I know that this L right here, it will look nice in the linear fill because it's more straight. So that will look nice in a linear fill. You see how beautiful that is? And there's two things I wanted to know before we go any further. I love my rhinestones close. Why? Because I believe that the closer the rhinestones, the more they, hi Nina, the closer the rhinestones, the more they bling. To me, that I believe that. So what I usually do for my spacing, so if you go over here to the rhinestone panel, you're gonna see different effects. You're gonna see size, you're gonna see spacing, right? So the effect that I use on the L here is the linear fill, okay? So you have four different effects. You have none, you have edge, which let me show you what the edge looks like. It just put the rhinestones around the edge of the word. Then you have linear. When you think of linear, you think of lines, okay? And then you have radial. So you look at the difference between the linear and the radial. So let me zoom up. Okay, let me go down just a little bit. Okay, so we're working on the L. So if I choose the linear fill, you see how it fills it up really nicely. But if I choose the radial fill, you're gonna have a space right here in the middle. Okay, which doesn't look so nice at all. So I'm gonna go back to the linear fill. So another thing is the rhinestone size. So the most popular rhinestone size is the 10 SS, but you also have the 6 SS. So if I choose 6 SS, let me show you what will happen. Look at the rhinestones and how they will look. So this is how it looks with 6 SS, and this is how it looks with 10 SS. I hope you could see that difference. But also what I usually do, or what I love to do, is to make my rhinestones a little bit closer, and I use a spacing of 0.15. So it automatically defaults to 0.039, but I like to take it to a 0.015. And I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So I'm gonna press enter, and you see how the rhinestones just get a little bit closer. Now you have to be careful too, because if you make them too close, then you run yourself the risk of when you're cutting it out, then the flock can rip on you. So you have to keep that in mind. All right. So here are the three features, the main features that you'll have to know when you're designing your template. So for the O, let's work on the O. So for the O, we will not go ahead and use the linear, right? Because the linear, hi, Vernet, the linear fill is good. Let me show you what happens when you use the linear fill. So that looks nice, right? It looks filled, it fills up well, but I want you to pay attention to this little part at the top right here. Okay, so let me zoom that up a little bit. You see this part right here? It's like it just goes in line like this. It's like the software just tells the rhinestones to go like this, right? Which fills it up nice, but it's not really nice like the linear fill in the L, okay? So what you need to do is not use the linear fill for the O, but look at what happens when you use the radial fill. So I'm gonna take it down just a little bit, and I'm gonna click on the radial. Now look at the difference between the radial. Let's go back to the top right there. So let me zoom up. You see that it takes the shape of the O so much better hi Martha, than the linear fill. The only thing is that you will have to go in now when you release your stones and fill up all these little spaces, which is not very, it's not much. Okay, so you just have to fill in rhinestones in this area and this area. Okay, okay. So that one is okay. So we're gonna use, and one more thing, when you change your spacing, the spacing is just gonna stay for the entire design. The entire design is gonna stay at 0.015. You don't have to go in and change it for something else if you're working in the same on the same template. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the linear fill for the next two. Linear. The linear will also look nice on the E. So let me take this down and show you what it looks like. What do you think about this? Remember, they're all ungrouped now, you know. You know they're ungrouped because it for each of the letters, you see a box around it. How are we so far? Okay. All right, there's one more thing I want to show you. Okay, let me zoom up right here. So you notice for the E and the V, right here in between the E and the V, these two stones are touching each other. See that? If you miss this and go ahead and make your template and cut it out, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna cut this two times and it's gonna make a giant hole in your flock. And that is why you have to look out for things like these. So before we do anything, because the letters are ungrouped, we could easily click on the E. I'm gonna take it down. Click on the E and just use your arrow key. I suggest using your arrow key for this because the arrow key will not allow it to shift out of line. So it will keep the same line, but so I'm going to use my arrow key and I'm just going to shift over this. See, I'm shifting it over so that those stones are not touching each other. Okay, so now it's okay. All right, so I'm going to take this down. Now, basically, this is ready to be cut out. The only thing you'll have to do is to release all the stones. Now, this is something else you need to know. In order to make this into a template where you could cut out, you have to make it into a compound path. Okay, so for me, I don't have a silhouette machine. I only have a Cricut Explorer Air tool, and that is what I use to cut out my designs. So what I do is that I have to make it a compound path so that when I take it into Silhouette Studio, not Silhouette Studio, into Cricut Design Space, it will be able to cut out properly. Hi, Precious. Okay, so before you do anything, I'm just going to hide this for a little while. Okay, and I'm gonna zoom this down. I'm gonna zoom down and I'm gonna select everything. Now you could do this one by one, but I just like to, that's my son. I'm just going to select everything. Then I'm gonna go back to the rhinestone panel, okay? And I am going to release the stones, okay? This is important. You have to release those stones. So you're going to go down here, down to the bottom where you see release rhinestones, okay? And you're going to release the stones. Now, when you release the stones, it's going to take a while. My computer is very slow. So while the stones are being released, are there any questions? Anything you need to be, anything you need to be clarified? Anything you didn't understand? Okay. Silence means consent. All right, so let me move on. All right, so when you release your stones, I'm gonna zoom up and you see that there is a box around each of the stones. I use favor. Okay. All right, so there's a box around each of the stones. It means all the stones have been released. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to fix that little part right here that doesn't have the stones, just to clean it up to make it look nice. Okay. All right, Nina. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zoom up, and this little thing here is so great. Many persons don't know it exists, but what it does is that you click on it, right? And you see this little microscope comes up. What I call this magnifying glass, microscope. This magnifying glass comes up, and you're just going to click on it, and it clicks the area. It zooms up the area that you want to see. All right. So to copy a stone, you could do two things. You could go ahead and click on some of the stones and copy it, or you could go ahead and duplicate stones at each time. So I want you to listen closely to what I'm saying now. To duplicate a stone, you're going to click on the stone. You're going to hold your Alt key and you're going to drag. So I'm going to drag out, see? A new stone is being created. See that? So let me zoom up and I'm going to do that again. So I'm closer now. And when you're moving around your stones, it's best if you zoom all the way up, just like I did right here. Zoom all the way up. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on a stone. Excuse me. I'm going to click on a stone. You know that I have that stone highlighted because there's a box around it. I'm going to press my Alt key and I'm going to drag a stone out. Okay? So I want you to see what's happening here. You notice that these two stones are too close. So what you're going to do is just to move that one away. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So you could move, shift stones around, you could shift stones around to make it work. Like me who don't like see a lot of space, I will just shift and shift. Okay. So I'm just gonna duplicate and put stones where they're supposed to go. This mouse is driving me nuts. Okay. Now listen, you can't leave a stone like this, okay? If you have a stone that looks like this, you're gonna run yourself in some problems. You have to take them apart. Don't let them touch at all. Okay, so I'm gonna press shift and I'm gonna put one here. And I'm gonna create a space here so that I could put one more. There you go. See? So let me zoom out to show you. See? Now it looks much better, right? Hi, Becky. Now this looks better than how it looked before. And you're gonna do the same thing for this part right here. So let me quickly do that so I could show you the next step. All right, guys, so I'm gonna do something because I want you to understand something. I'm going to let one stone sit on each other, okay? I'm going to duplicate a stone and I'm gonna let it sit exactly on top of another stone because I want to show you what it looks like when you finish your template and you'll know that something is wrong with your template. Okay, so remember I told you that I'm going to duplicate a stone, but I'm gonna let the stone sit on, so I'm gonna let two stones sit on each other because I want to show you how you could identify stones that are sitting on each other. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna duplicate this one. See, I did it. And I'm gonna let it stay on top of each other like this. Remember I did that. I unbiased. Hi, Carol. Okay. All right. So remember this one here has two stones sitting on each other. I did that by on purpose just to show you how you could identify stones that sits on each other. Okay, so I'm gonna go up. Sometimes you could use your arrow key because it's actually best when you don't want your stones, you want to control the movement of the stones. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, just gonna put one more, and then I show you what to do next. Oops, stop, no, stop. So I'm gonna put one here. There's one that can go here. Let me move on, make some room for it. Oops, that one, that's one, the one with the two on it. I don't want to move that one. Okay, this is fine. A little bit close, but fine. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Where's the heart bouquet design? It's on my Etsy shop, Miss Becky. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna bring this over. I have this mouse that's not working so well. Oops. All right. Let me just put two more, then I'll show you what to do. All right. There you go. Okay. This is fine. All right. So I'm gonna zoom out. Okay, guys. So you see that it cleans up really nice, right? Got my heart bouquet out today. Okay, nice, Sharnet. Okay, all right. So now, guys, you have this. The only thing I would do is try to fit a stone right in this in this space right there, but I'm gonna leave that. So now that you're happy with your design, it's now time to put it back together. it's now time to put it back together so that you could bring it into Cricut Design Space and cut it out. So this one looks a little bit close. So let me zoom up to see what's happening there. See, I could tell. So I'm gonna bring this one up a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Okay, go down. So what you can do, if you have only one color working with, it's gonna be easy to just get everything together. So all you have to do is press Control A. Let me not do that because it's grouping that one. Let me go down. Okay, so what you could do, you could go ahead. Oh, the headache of moving. Yeah, I know, especially when you have a big design. So I'm gonna highlight everything. Ensure that that dash line is over all the stones. See that dash line? Look for it every time. It tells you how much you have highlighted, okay? So if you click on it, you see that all the stones are selected because there's a box around all the stones, okay? So what I'm gonna do now, you're gonna go up here where it says object, and you're gonna go to group because this is just one color. You want all these colors to be with each other. So I'm going to press group. So when you press group, you see that it becomes one again, right? Miss Becky. Okay. All right. All right. So when you have this, now it's time. If you should go ahead and just download this and bring it into Cricut Design Space, you'll see nothing at all. Nothing will show up. So what you need to do is to make it a compound path. Okay. So to make it a compound path, you go up here where it says object and you go down to where it says make compound path. You're going to you're going to click on it and look at what happens. Mm? The color will go away. Now, when the color goes away, this is the time where you check your template. Check your template. Why? Because remember I told you that I purposely left the stone sitting on each other, right? I'm gonna show you the difference between that stone and the others. Okay, so we left it. Let me show you. Let me zoom up. You notice the color is gone. If I zoom up, I want you to see the difference between this stone and the others. You see it? Oh yes, Miss Becky. Yes, yes. See, that one is brighter than the others. And that is how you know that there's a stone sitting on top of it. Now, if I missed that stone and I bring it into whatever software I'm using to cut it out, what it's gonna do is that it's gonna cut that spot 2 times. It's gonna cut that spot 2 times. And when it cuts that spot 2 times, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna have a giant hole in your flock. There's another way to catch it. Say, for instance, you missed it. You checked and you didn't see it. And I'm going to go down because I want you to see this. See that? You checked, but you didn't see any overlapping stones. And you go ahead and you put back your color. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to change it to black. All right. So I want you to see what happens now. Do you see any difference? I'm going to zoom up. Look at that. You see that? That stone that has two sitting on top of each other, what color is it? Does it have a color? No color. See? Yes. So that is how you check. Keep checking, 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 because if you miss this, it might ruin your design. Okay? So if that happens, what you should do, I'm going to zoom down. What you should do is go back up here and release the compound path. If you see something like that, release the compound path. Okay, so when you release the compound path, you're going to see everything highlighted. You're going to go back. Now the color is going to go away, so you have to try to find a way to figure out which one it was. So I'm going to zoom up. When you release the compound path again, then you're not going to see the white space again. So what you're going to do, I know it's this one. See that? It's this one. So I'm just going to take it off. I'm just going to see that? That's the stone. Now this, you could delete it because you don't need it, okay? And this one looks a little bit close, so I'm gonna bring it down. Okay, so now we're good. So now you can go back again. I'm gonna zoom down, highlight everything, and make it a compound path. So I'm gonna, oh, stop it. It's most driving me nuts. Oh, okay. That's good, Miss Becky. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight everything again. Dum, dum, dum. Hold on, let me zoom down so I get it good. When it's one color, you could just go ahead and highlight. So highlight again, go back up to object, group it, and then make it a compound path again. Object, go to object, and make it a compound path. Oh, my mouse is driving me. Oof. See, the color will go away again. You're welcome, Sharon. The color will go away again, and all you have to do is to choose whatever color you want. Okay, let me choose pink. So when you choose the color, remember to go ahead and take that red line off. And this is the template. You have a template that you could cut out. This is it. You're done. All you have to do is save it to your hard drive, save it as an SVG. And if you're cutting it out in Cricut Design Space, save it as an SVG and cut it out. Now that's a simple template. It's beautiful. You could use different stones. You could use the L in a different stone, the O in a different stone, the V, you know, depends on what you want. Let me know. Do you have any comments? Okay, Shannon. What is with the red line? I don't think I've ever taken it. Yes, it's Miss Jennifer. It's very tiny that you could miss it, but I just know it's there and it drives me nuts, so I just take it off all the time. Thanks, Sharon. I really appreciate that. Okay. No, this is just a simple template. Now, if you want to do something more a little bit more complicated, then that's a different ball game. So for instance, you want an outline. If you want an I'm not sure what the purpose is. It's just what it is. I don't know. It's just how they make it, because sometimes even when I bring in like an SVG, it comes around, that red line comes around it, or even tumbler wrap, because I print from Silhouette Studio for my tumbler wraps. The line comes on around it, and I just have to take it off. Oh, nice, girl. Yeah. Oh, nice to hear, Viola. Okay, so if you want something that is a little bit more not say complicated, but you want a two-colored rhinestone, or you want something that like this, I'm gonna show you how to get it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes you just not remember, right? So if you want something like the shirt I have on where you have an outline, I'm gonna show you how you could get it. Okay. All right. So for instance, we type our text already, and we know how to do that. What we can do for this one, let me make it a little bit bigger, because I want to. Oops. I want to make it too big because I'm not gonna move those stones now. Okay. I don't know why my mouse is giving me trouble. Okay. All right. No. Say for instance, I want the word love, but I want an outline around it. And I type my word, I change the font I want it to be in, and I took the red line off. What you're gonna do to do that, you're going to go over here where you see this little star. Okay. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the 13th icon on your right, and it's the offset panel. Okay. So all you're gonna do, you're gonna click on that, and you're going to go to where it says internal offset. Okay. Internal offset. Now the offset puts, just like in Cricut Design Space, most of us may be familiar with internal and offsets. Just like Cricut Design Space, you put an offset around the word, it goes around the word. If you put an internal offset, it goes inside, right? It's the same thing you're gonna do. So if you go here, you're gonna choose the option that says internal offset. Click on it. Now, you're not depending on the color font you're using. You may not see a line that comes up, okay? You may not see a line that comes up. So I'm gonna zoom up for you, and I hope you could see this. I'm gonna zoom up. You're gonna see a line, the same line that we're talking about. That's the line. When you make that internal offset, I don't want you to click off. I don't want you to do anything, right? All you're going to do is press apply. When you press apply, hi Aisha, when you press apply, there are two things that's going to happen. One, you're you're going to see a box around each of the letters, right? And two, the red line, you're going to look for that red line. Okay, so without taking or clicking off anything, I want you to go up here where you're going to change your color, and you're going to select another color. It's important that you do that because I don't want you to get confused. So I'm going to select the blue. See? So when I select the blue, you're going to see the letters that has box around them change. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the line off. I'm going to click the line, it's going to go. Then without taking it off again, I'm going to go ahead up here and I'm going to press group. Because remember I told you that when you do that offset, it's going to split the words. It's going to split the words. So you'll have to group them back. What was the offset amount? I always use 0.125. Yes, Miss Becky, that's what I used to. Because I believe the stones are, see, if you look at this, there's not a lot of space between the outline and the inside part. There's not a lot of space there, and I like it that way. Now you want to create an inset where the rhinestones will not sit on top of each other. If you go any lower than 0.125, you run yourself the problem where the rhinestones will not fit and they will not sit on it, they will not sit properly. If you go a little higher, like 0.130, that's fine also because the size of an SS 6 stone is 0.130, right? So that would be okay also. All right. Okay. And believe it or not, this is ready to be turned into a rhinestone template. All you're going to do, if, for instance, you do this and you said, okay, I could take my template up a little bit bigger, you can still do that. See? But all you have to do is ensure that both colors are selected so that you could size it proportionally. Okay? Because if you go ahead and just select the blue and size it, it's not going to fit again on the yellow. Okay. All right. Good. Good to know, Sharon. Okay. All right. So this is basically ready to be turned into a template, right? So I'm going to open my rhinestone. Let me take this over so that you could see. Hi, Tienda. So what I usually do for the outline, I click on the outline. No, some persons might be saying, I'm not sure which color I'm working with. Always refer to this here. Always refer to the color up here. I always look to see what I'm working with, okay? So what I'm gonna do, give me one second. Where my lip is. Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I know that my gold is selected, so I'm gonna go over to my rhinestone effect and I'm gonna click on the edge. See that? Now that looks beautiful. But one thing, remember, what we should have done, let me take it back off. Let me click on none. You'll notice that these two, remember in the first one I showed you that these were close. See that? We should have taken care of that first, but it's no problem. What you could do, let me select none. There are two things you could do. You could go ahead and ungroup. So I'm gonna click on the gold and I'm gonna ungroup that. Then I'm gonna click on the blue and I'm gonna ungroup it. Okay, so now both of them are ungrouped. Now I can go ahead and I can select both. One is not ungrouped. Let me see. Ungrouped. Oh, the gold did not ungroup. Let me ungroup. Okay, so both of them is ungrouped. What you could do, select both blue and the gold, and you're gonna shift it over a little bit. See? Okay. And then go ahead and group it back. Now, there's an easy way to group them back when you're working with more than one colors. What you do, go up here where it says edit. Edit. Click on edit. Go down to the option that says select by color. Click on it. When you do that, you're gonna go to the by fill. Click on by fill. And then you're going to select the gold. When you select the gold, everything is, all the gold on your canvas is selected. You're just gonna press Control G and it will group it. Then do the same thing for the blue, Control G, group again. All right, so now we could go ahead and turn it into a rhinestone template. Okay. All right. How are we so far? Are we good so far? No? Yes? Gabriel has my charger. All right. Cool. That's a picture. Yes. Okay, that's good. All right, Aisha. All right, good, good, good. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go over here. What color is selected? Anybody can tell me? Quick check for understanding. Come on, a quick check for understanding. Which color is selected? Let me see if you are paying attention. Oh, I pull out my teacher tricks on you guys. Okay, so the blue, because it's showing blue up here, right? All right, good. You're paying attention. Both. No. All right. All right. All right. So for the person who said it said both, it's actually the blue. All right. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna quickly finish this, and then I'm gonna let you go. All right. So I'm gonna click on the gold, and I'm gonna click on edge. Usually you want to click on the edge. Okay. So we could have brought over that a little bit more, but we can fix it when we are fixing the, see, we still could have brought it over a little bit more, but we can fix that when we are moving around the stones, okay? When we release the stones, you could just scoot this over a little bit more. All right, so I'm gonna take it down. No, I want you to look right here. Look right here. You notice that spacing from the blue and the gold. That's the amount of space that we created. See that? Okay, so I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down. Oops, 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 oops. Okay, and ensure that your spacing is fine. I'm using a spacing of 0.15. Then I'm gonna click on my blue. Now for this one, what you could do is ungroup each of the letters and then put the fill, right? So for instance, remember we said that some fill will just work best with some letters because of the nature of the letter. So I'm gonna ungroup the blue and I'm gonna do them individually. So for this one, oops, that shift a little bit, be careful. So for this one, oops, shift again. Okay. Ah, there you go. For this one, I'm going to use the linear. See that? I just don't like this part right here. See that part right here? I don't like it. Look, let me zoom up. You see that? A lot of that space right there, I don't like that. Let me see if I use the radial, it looks better. So that's the radial. Now I want you to pay attention to this. Look at this, guys. When I switch to the radial, look at this. What's happening here? Hmm? Anybody can tell me what's happening here? These are the things you have to look out for whenever you're designing templates. This, yes, stones on top of stones. This, you have to just remember to go ahead and write, overlap, right? So these are the things you have to look out for. Ensure that you catch them before you finish your template and say, oh, I'm done. And you're not really done. Okay. So I like the radial fill better with this because it fills up this little space and that little gap, and I didn't like that. All I will have to do is to go around and put stones, move around stones, take these stones off each other. Okay. I'm gonna do radial for this one. And this one is good. See that? How pretty that is? Pretty, pretty. And for the V, I'm gonna do linear. That looks good. And for the E, I'm gonna do linear. So let me zoom down and show you what we have. For the E, I'm not gonna do linear. Why? There's a lot of space on top of here. See that? I don't like that. See that? You do linear for the L. For the L, it had this space in it that I didn't like. Nina, look. Let me go back to the L. So this is the look at. I want you to look at this part right here. This mouse. I want you to look right here. I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna go linear. See this? Or you could fill it up, but I don't like this part. You see under here where you have this space here, I don't like that. I don't like that. So the linear would be better. Even though I would have work to do. You see how it fills up that part? But I would use the linear there. Yeah. I don't like that big gap between it. Even the E. Look, let me show you the E. The V too, I don't like it. Tough. See under here, there's no way you could fit stones under here. So it's gonna stay that way. You understand? You can't fit any stone here. It's gonna stay that way. You can fit stones here, I think. But if you had used the radial, then that would have cleaned that part up, you see? And the only thing you could have you worry about is these little spaces here where you have to move around the stones. So even the V in this case, I would use the linear because this little gap right here, it's not so flattering. Okay, see? See these overlapping stones? I have to deal with those. Okay, all right. Can you use different styles in each letter? What do you mean, Sir Sharnet? Different styles. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you in a few minutes. All right. So I just have a few minutes left and I'm gonna let you go. All right. Okay. So all you do now when you are satisfied with your template, you're gonna go ahead and let me see if you know what to do next. Check for understanding. After I finish put it in my rhinestones, what would be my next step? Type it in the chat, let me know. What will I do next? Sharon, when my children cooperate with me, you're gonna group these stones, make compound path. Okay, so I see varied answers. I see varied answers. Anybody else? Anybody else? All right, so you do not make it a compound path as yet. Why? Because you will have to take care of all these overlapping stones. Yes, you'll have to release the stones. So I'm going to select everything, ensure that that dash line is over all my design. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to release the stones. You have to release your stones in order to make them a compound path. It's a must. No, the stones are not lining up. Okay. No, they're not because we have a bunch of stones on top of each other in the L. In the V also, there's stones close to each other. So we'll have to go in and fix it up in order before we make it a compound path. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to move these stones around because it's going to take a little time for me to do it. And I'm going to leave you now. So after you fill in these little spots, after you fill in these right here, all you're gonna do is to go ahead and select the colors now. Okay, I'm not gonna move these stones around because I don't have the time, but ensure that you check each of the letters, ensure that none is touching, ensure that none is sitting on top of each other. So you release group. Then yes, so you release. First you have to release. If you don't release the stones, they will not turn into a compound path. So now that I release my stones, and say for instance I went, so for instance this one right here, let me zoom up. You can just know that stones are not looking right when you really get into doing it. Thank you, Tiana. You know that the stones are not right. So for instance, look at this one. It looks weird, right? It means that there are two stones there. You see that? So you could move that out and fix it up nice. Okay. See? Move them away nicely. See? Habit. Thanks, Sharon. Yes, yes, Gabriel. Hold on, give me 1 second. My son is calling me. Oh Lord. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm not gonna move these stones around because when you have a habit, I would just sit down and move stones. Thank you, Bernard. I appreciate it. Thank you for this super chat, I believe. Okay. So I am going to, you're welcome, Aisha. So what you're gonna do now that you've moved around the stones, there are no stones touching each other. Um, you're going to group them back now, right? Thank you, Sharon. You're gonna group them back now, okay? And that's important. So all of this, take care of it, okay? Take care of all these little holes in your thing. All you have to do is just ensure, guys, that the stones are not touching. If the stones are touching, sometimes it's gonna happen that you move around the stones and they're close. Thank you, Greg. Sometimes you're gonna move around your stones and they're gonna be close. I have an example here. My thing, right? But it should not be a case whereas they're so close that your flock is gonna just, rip, you know? You understand what I'm saying? All right. So after this, I'm gonna take it down. After this, you're going to, how do you separate the colors? Okay, I'm gonna show you now. So I'm gonna show you how you separate the colors. Before you separate the colors, Sister Care, you have to go back to the edit. Go to edit right here. Well, thank you, Sharon. Very good, Sharon. The other Sharon. Thank you so much, Sharon Davenport, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay. So you're gonna go up here where it says edit. Edit. Go down to select by color. So you have two things, by line and by fill. Now, if you did not take off that little red line, right, you will see that it will come up where the by line is, okay? But because we took care of all of that, it's not showing up. So over here, I'm gonna go to the by fill and you're going to select the gold. Now, when you select the gold, you're gonna see that all the gold stones are highlighted. See? All the gold stones are highlighted. Go up here where it says object, you could do two things. I like my little shortcuts sometimes, but I'm just gonna teach you how to get it this way. So go here where it says object, then go to group. When you group it, you see, when you group it, now you could separate it. I think it's Sister Care. Now you could move it. See? See that? So I'm gonna undo. Now, before you do anything, before you forget to do anything, make it a compound path. So I'm gonna go up here where it says object, and I'm gonna make a compound path. When you make it a compound path, the color will go away. See that? The color goes away. All you have to do is to change it to whatever color you want. I'll change it to black. And remember to take the line off. So the line that I'm talking about, if you go back over here by the bifill, it will take a little while to come up. But you see that it's gonna show you a color here because there's actually a red line around the black stones. Okay, so let me see if I could click. Okay, so all you do is to go here where you see that box, click on it, see, it comes up now. You see that? So you have by line and you have by fill. So the line that is around the black stones, it comes up here. See that? Right there. So what you're gonna do is just take that off and it will go away, okay? And then you do the same thing, go to by fill, click on the blue, right? And then you go ahead, group them, object, group. Okay, it's gonna take a while. My computer is very slow. It's grouped. Then I'm going to go here and I'm gonna make it a compound path. When you make it a compound path, the color will go away, definitely go away. Thank you, Nina, for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right. Okay, so now you could select whatever color you want. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna make it red. But when you make it red, remember to take the line off, okay? Go here, click that line, none, and this is what you have. Now, to bring it into Cricut Design Space now, what you're gonna do, you're going to select all of them, both colors, the green and the black, okay? And you're going to go up here where it says object, and you're gonna group it, okay? So when you group it, this is what you have. You have a template to use. You put it on whatever you want to put it on. That's it. Any questions? At the end, I had to, when I was learning, I had to go over it over and over, make mistakes, I make errors, you know. I've also learned from other YouTubers also. So thanks, Miss Becky. So when you're saving this, so what I usually do, I don't usually make two templates in one because remember we had this one and we had the other one, the pink one. See, two of them, one with edge, one without. See, so all you have to do is to go ahead and make it into a, not a compound part, you just save it to your. So let me see if I could, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna group these two, see if I could save both of them. Object, group. Okay, all right. I'll just save them as one. So I'm gonna go here where it says file, and I'm gonna go to save selection, and you're gonna go to save to hard drive. And when you go to save to hard drive, you're going to name it. I'm going to name it love, which I have so many loves. Love, love, love. Because it's a lot of love. And then you're going to go here and change this as, and save it as a SVG. And you press OK. So when you save it as an SVG, it's going to come up as a Microsoft Edge. It's going to come up as Microsoft Edge. And then what you do is just bring it into Cricut Design Space. Now, when you bring it into Cricut Design Space, you could go ahead and ungroup. So the different colors are going to show up, and then you're going to be able to cut it out with your Cricut. And that's it. Give me a thumbs up if you've learned something new today. Thank you, Nina. Good job, Fernit. Now, guys, I would love to see what you work on. If you have not joined my Facebook group, you could do that. I would love to see your designs. I also would love to help if you need help with anything. You're welcome, Valerie. All right. So if you do not have any more questions, I'm going to let you go. You're welcome, Rosa. What is the name of your group? Tailor-made design. Let me see. If I could drop it here. Okay, give me one sec. Mm. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna see. My phone will die soon. Invite. Share group. Copy link. Yeah. Okay. Okay, it's fine if you're not on Facebook. It's fine. Okay, so that's the Facebook group. The Facebook website. No, no problem. It's no pressure. I'm not good at editing either. Your Facebook group called Taylor. Yes, it is. I used to think that the only thing I'm good at is math. It's more time to come. It's fine. It is a private group. Yes. All right, guys. So I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for staying with me. Um, if you don't have any other questions, I'm just going to let you go. I'm gonna stop sharing. You're welcome, Nina. And thank you everyone for coming on. I appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna say bye bye, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys. All right, bye, Sandra. Take care, Sister Care. See you later, Sharon. Good night, Nina. You too, Rosa. Have a blessed night to you. And have a great week this week. All right, bye bye.